Hey everyone, Bailey with Bailey's Kitchen. Let's make bakery style cinnamon rolls today. To a sauce pot, over medium heat, you're going to add 1 cup of whole milk, 5 tablespoons of butter unsalted, a half a cup of sugar, and a half teaspoon of salt. Bring this to 120 degrees. If you go a little bit over, just make sure you cool it down to 120. You want to keep it at 120 because this is what's going to activate and feed your yeast to grow your dough. All right, so while our butter is on the stove, we are going to prep our mixer. To the mixer, we're going to add 2 cups of bread flour or all-purpose flour. Now, the key to any type of baking is it really is science and it's precise. So anytime you're measuring out flour, make sure you're doing even scoops, and the easiest way to do that, take back of a bread knife, scoop it off into the bowl. All right, so 2 cups, and I'm gonna use bread flour today. I just think it creates a nice fluffy dough for these cinnamon rolls. And this is 1 packet of active dry yeast. I'm just gonna add this to the bowl and give it a quick mix. To our mixer, we're going to add our butter, sugar, salt mixture that we did on the stove that's 120 degrees. And I'm just gonna pour it into here. See how the dough is nice and sticky. You can feel it warmth. Okay, so let's add 2 eggs. I went ahead and scrambled the eggs. And then we're gonna start slowly adding another 2 cups and 1/4 of the bread flour. Okay, so our mixture has now come together. I'm gonna just pull this, the dough is so warm and it's sticky. These are gonna be so good. And I'm gonna replace the paddle hook with the J hook. Now, if you don't have the J hook, you can always dump the dough out and give it a good knead, but I'm gonna use the J hook. So I'm gonna let this knead for about 5 to 10 minutes. So our dough is done kneading. Now we're going to put it into a bowl. In the bowl, I do have a little bit of vegetable oil, just a little bit, tablespoon, and I'm gonna actually rub that all over the bowl. It helps the dough not stick to it. And then we're gonna take our beautiful warm dough, just look at that. And I'm gonna place it in here, put a little bit more vegetable oil on top. And we're gonna let this sit in a warm place for about 15 minutes so it can rise, it can double in its size. If you don't have a warm place, if it's cold, it's really cold right now here in Texas, turn your oven on to the lowest setting, let it come up to about 75 degrees, shut it off, and then you can place it in there and let it proof. Don't forget to cover with plastic wrap. To your mixer, add 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 stick of softened butter, and 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Mix this together until it becomes nice and fluffy. It was rested, so let's roll it out. Flour your surface with the same flour that you used for your dough. Here she is. Nice and warm still. We're gonna roll her out to about a good size rectangle. Take our spread, and we're gonna spread it all around. Okay, so the filling's all spread out. It's time to roll it. So you just wanna take your edges and nice and tightly just start rolling. 1 quick tip is just start from one side and roll to the next. Kind of give it a good pull when you're rolling it in. Now you've got a long stretch of good dough. Now we're gonna cut out about 12 to 16 even size cinnamon rolls. And then we're gonna place them into a pre-greased 9x13. Our cinnamon rolls are ready to proof for another 1 to 2 hours. Just put them back into a warm place, either the oven or on your counter. Cover it with plastic wrap and let them double in size. Our beautiful cinnamon rolls have just finished rising for the last time, and just look at how big they've gotten. All right, so they're ready to go in the oven. They're gonna go in at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes, just until they're nice and golden. While they're in the oven, we're gonna work on our frosting. To your mixer, add a block of softened cream cheese and a stick of softened butter Mix this together until it is well combined and almost in a creamy state. Next, add 2 to 3 cups of powdered sugar, a cup at a time. Why 2 to 3 cups? It just depends on how sweet you want your frosting to be. So after 2 cups, I would taste it and then add a half a cup at a time. Add a pinch of salt and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Mix until it's creamy and combined. Who needs cinnamon rolls when you have this delicious frosting? Never mind. Let's go back to our cinnamon rolls. The cinnamon rolls are out of the oven. I've let them rest for about 5 minutes. Now it's time to ice them. And I just kind of plop the icing and let the heat from them out of the oven kind of melt it and then spread. Oh. These remind me of a bakery I grew up in a small town, and they had this bakery. And these cinnamon rolls they would make were so big, and my dad used to take me at like 6 in the morning to go get these cinnamon rolls. They were so good. We're gonna mimic those. So what will happen is I know it kind of looks like a cake, but the heat from the cinnamon rolls will start to kind of melt the icing into it. And so it'll get all into the cracks and crevice of your cinnamon roll. So you have a little bit of icing with every bite. All right, let's give one of these a try. Go for the small one on the end. Ooh, it's still hot. Look at that cinnamon roll. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on Bailey's Kitchen.